Let's talk about the file hierarchy structure of Linux. So Linux organizes files in a hierarchy. Think of it as a tree, okay? But not just any tree, maybe an upside down tree where the root is at the top and the leaves are at the bottom. These leaves can represent files and folders. Like I said, there are both files and folders. Those folders can have more folders present inside of them. And those folders can have even more folders, and then more folders, and then more folders, and then finally files, or maybe more folders. So if you can see, it's organized like a hierarchy, folders within folders. Okay, so Linux is organized in a hierarchy. Keep that in mind. Okay, you can think of it as an upside down tree. Now, in Linux, you're always in some specific place. You're always in a directory. What is a directory? Directory is just a fancy name for a folder. And the root directory is the main directory which encompasses the whole file system, okay? Which encompasses everything related to the operating system. So the root directory is the main directory which has everything else. It has all the other folders. It is the folder that has all the other folders. It has the home folder, it has the binaries, it has the processes, it has everything. You don't need to know all of this. Just think of root as having all the other processes, having all the other devices, having all the other folders inside of it. Okay, it encompasses everything. It is the main thing. Alright guys, now let's get some terminal action. So this is my terminal, and on the left side you can see Reeves at Lappy. Now what does this mean? Reeves is the user and Lappy is his device. It's the host name. It's the name of the device he is using. So Reeves is using Lappy. You can keep that in mind. So remember how I told you that in Linux we are always in some specific directory? How do we know which directory we are in? So in Linux we use three special commands for navigation. The first one is pwd, which stands for present working directory. When I click enter, it says /home/reeves/document. Now what does this mean? This is the current directory in which I'm present in. Okay, I am currently at this directory. So that is the pwd command, and it's very important in order to know where we are in the file structure. Okay, so this tells us where exactly we are in the hierarchy. And the next important command which we need to know, the second command, is list or ls. Okay, do not type the full form list. We have an abbreviation called ls. Okay, and when we type ls, it will list out all the files and folders that are present in the current directory. So when I press enter, you can see here all my files and folders. The folders are highlighted in blue and the files are in green. That is how I configured it in my GNOME terminal. You can do so in your specific terminal. There are some extra features of this ls command, okay, which we can access using flags. Now you might be thinking, what are flags? Okay, so flags are used by Linux users in order to slightly modify or have a different variation of the command. For example, if I type ls and then -l, it will give me a long format of all of the files. Okay, and by long format it means it will give me the latest time of modification, it will give me the size in bytes of the file, it will give me who owns the file, the owner, as well as the group owner, which group owns the file. So here in my case, Reeves is the owner and Reeves is also the group as well. I will get into more detail in user file permissions in some other video. And this is all about permissions. You don't need to know this now, but you just need to know about flags. Okay, and the next flag here is ls-a. Okay, so what does this do? What's the difference between ls-a and just normal ls? Well, ls-a represents all, and it shows every single file including hidden files. Now you might be thinking, hidden files? What do you mean by that? Well, Linux also has hidden files. Look at this. This is .config, .lock, .final. Okay, these are hidden files. If you look at the ls command before, these are not mentioned anywhere here, but it's mentioned here. That's because I put the -a. You might be wondering, why does Linux have hidden files in the first place? Hidden files exist only for two reasons. That is, for organization, we have a lot of files, and in order to reduce clutter, some of the files may be hidden, like .config files. Some folders may have a lot of config files, so all of them will be hidden. The second reason we have hidden files is so that we prevent accidental deletion and modification. We may accidentally modify a file, or we accidentally change some configurations here and there if it were not hidden. So in order to prevent that, we have the concept of hidden files, okay, which is great for safety, and it prevents systems from crashing. So that's what's amazing about these hidden files. If you press ls, you won't be able to see the hidden files, but if you type ls-a, you can see the hidden files, that is .config. Oh, by the way, all the files after you type the ls command are arranged in alphabetical order. So it starts from A, ends with T, okay? So ends with Z actually, in my case it's T. So that is the ls command. Remember, the two main common ls commands you need to know are ls-a and ls-l, okay? So these are the two main ones, mainly to show the hidden files and to show the user file permissions. If you notice something, when you type ls-l, it will show all the details of all the files except the hidden files. I told you beforehand that in order to show the hidden files, you need to type -a, but here I've typed -l. So what do? I want to show the long format for hidden files as well. So what do? I can do ls-l a as well, or al. Both of them will give the same output. So ls-al. As you can see, even the hidden files are mentioned here, and their details are given. The long form details are given here. Let me just do ls-la just to show that the order doesn't matter. The order of the flags don't matter. It will give the same output all the time. So now the next command, and the most important for navigation between the hierarchy, is the cd command, which stands for change directory. If I press ls, it will list out all the files and folders in this documents path. Okay, what is my present working directory? It is /home/reeves/documents, and in that path, in that directory, I have these files. Okay, now what if I want to go inside, let's say, this folder, random dataset? I want to go inside this folder. What do I do for that? I have to do change directory random dataset, and when I press enter, you can see here it changed from documents to random dataset. Okay, and when I do pwd once more, the path has changed. This is now my current working directory. I am in /home/reeves/documents/random dataset. This is my current working document. Okay, let me just clear the terminal. All right, so this is my current working directory. Now what can I do from here? I can type, like I said, ls, and what can I do from here? I can see all my files which is there in the path. What is my path again? /home/reeves/documents/random dataset. I can do whatever operation I want. And what if I wanted to go back to home/reeves/document? What if I want to go back to documents? Well, for that we can do cd space ... And what this command does is it goes back to the parent directory. When I click enter, as you can see, it goes back to documents. And if I do pwd, you can see I'm at /home/reeves/documents. Two important things you need to know is how do you navigate to the root and how will you navigate to your home. Like I said, root contains everything. It encompasses all the files, all the whole, basically it represents the whole system. So if I do cd /, okay, what is /? / is the root. Okay, root is / is root. Keep that in mind. Okay, so if I do cd /, as you can see, it goes to the root. And if I press ls, it has everything over here. Okay, everything related to, it has binaries, it has everything related to booting, devices, everything. Okay, and here you can see the home. Okay, now I want to go to home, so let's go cd home, and now let's press ls. Let's see what is there in the home directory. Oh, so I have two folders here, Reeves and root. Now what do these represent? So basically in Linux, the home folder will contain all the workspaces of each user. So here now I have two users, that is Reeves and root. Which user am I? I am Reeves. Okay, So therefore, by default, I'm only able to access the Reeves folder and not the root folder. What happens if I do access the root folder? cd root. Ruth is my sister's name, by the way. So if I try to access her folder, it says permission denied. I cannot access her folder, okay? Because I am Reeves, I'm not Ruth. If I were Ruth, it would say Ruth at Lappy, but no, I am Reeves, okay? So I can only access my folder. So if I do cd Reeves, there we go. I go to the home folder. Now you might be thinking, why does it not say home? Why does it say this squiggly line, okay? This squiggly line represents home, the home directory for the current user, okay? So I'm the current user and this squiggly line represents home. And let's see what's there inside. Oh, I have a lot of files in my workspace. And let's see if I go to a folder called fruits and I press ls, I can see the folder banana is inside. And if I go inside banana and type ls, I can see there is a file which is seeds.txt. All the operations related to files I will cover in some other videos, but for now you just need to know the navigation part. So what if I want to go back to the fruits folder? Well, first I'll see my present working directory. Yes, I am in banana folder. I want to go back to fruits and I do that, and now I'm in fruits. Now you can directly go back, just how we directly went to the root with cd slash, you can directly go back to home with cd squiggly line or tilde. It's called a tilde, cd tilde. And when I press enter, boom, I am at home. If I do pwd now, as you can see here, /home/Reeves. Remember, do not get confused. /home contains all the workspaces of all users, okay? So it contains the workspaces of all users, and /home/Reeves is the workspace just for Reeves. It's just my workspace. How do you go back to root? cd slash. And here I am at root. So the cd slash command is to go to the root, cd squiggly command is to go to the home. There is one special type of cd command which you need to know, and that is cd hyphen, okay? Cd hyphen will go to the previous directory in which you were in, okay? Remember, it won't go to your parent directory, it will go to your previous directory, So previously, where was I? Let's type cd hyphen and find out. I was in /home/Reeves. Okay, so now I am in home. What if I type cd hyphen again? Okay, remember, it will not go to the parent, it will go to the previous directory, and my previous directory was root. I was in root before. So if I do cd hyphen again, bam, I'm in root again. Now what if I do cd hyphen again? I am in home again. Cd hyphen again, I'm in root again. Cd hyphen again, I'm in home again. So it just goes back and forth. Okay, so this is a very useful command. One important thing you need to know about cd is you can use absolute paths and relative paths. So what are absolute paths? Well, for example, if I do cd and I do slash, what is slash? Slash is root. And I know that inside the root, I have the home folder. So I can do slash home. Okay, and I know inside home folder, I have a folder called Reeves, which is my workspace. And I know that inside Reeves, I have a folder called documents. And what happens when I do this? What happens when I do cd /home/Reeves/documents? I can directly go from home to documents. I do not need to traverse through home, then Reeves, then documents. I can directly go there. And basically, those are the three main commands we need to know when it comes to navigation in Linux. So what are the commands again? Number one, we have present working directory, which shows the current directory. And number two, the ls command. And don't forget about the flags, ls-a to show all the hidden, all of the hidden files, as well as ls-l to show the long or detailed format of all the files. And remember, you can combine flags as well. ls-la, and you can see everything, all the hidden files along with its details. The last and final command is the cd command. So you can navigate to the parent directory, you can navigate to the root, you can navigate back to home, you can navigate to the previous directory, and you can navigate to exactly a specific file in the file structure. For example, /home/Reeves/documents, and voila. So another cool shortcut you guys can use in order to navigate is by pressing the tab in order to complete the command. So for example, These are all the files and folders in my current directory, the home directory. Okay, and if I type cd and I type fr and I press tab, you can see it auto completes because there is only one folder which starts with fr, and that is fruits, so it auto completes it. If you want to go inside the banana folder directly, then you have to put cd fruits / banana. Like you have to put cd fruits / banana, but you don't need it otherwise because we are already in the fruits folder, so we just need to go inside banana. Okay, so how do we create a file in Linux? We create it with the touch command. So touch, and then let's just call this myfile.txt, and I press ls again. You can see it's right over here, arranged in alphabetical order. It's right over here. All right. Now, how do you create hidden files? I've talked about hidden files. How do you create hidden files? Well, you can just do the same exact thing, but just put a dot in front of the file name. So if I do dot and then I'll just put second file.txt and I press ls. It's not there. It's not there anywhere. Okay. It starts with an S, so it should be somewhere over here, but it's not there. That's because we just used the regular ls command. We didn't use the ls-a command. And when I press enter now, I can see all of the hidden files, everything. So it started with an S, right? So where is S? Here it is. That's how you make a file. How do you make a directory? How do you make a folder or a directory? Well, mkdir, which stands for make directory. Okay, very obvious. And then you give any name to the directory you want. I will give mine veggies. And then I press ls. You can see my veggies folder is right here. And I can go inside my veggies folder, and then I type ls, but it doesn't show anything because the folder is empty. I just recently created it and there's nothing in it. So let's create a file, something like, let's create a hidden file first, something like some gibberish.txt, and let's create an actual file, like let's say some doggy.txt. Okay, let's say ls doggy.txt and ls-a. We can see all the hidden files. And I have a challenge for you guys. So I want you guys to go to your home directory, create a folder called Linux practice, and then go inside of it, then create 3 text files and 2 hidden files. And at last, I want you to list all the files, okay, including the hidden files.